This is Muhammad Zahid with Engineering Training Platform. From this training platform, you will able to learn step-by-step PLC and to get high score in interview and certification. This part is continue for the training of A7200 PLC, and in this presentation we are going to discuss about type of programming languages, functions and instruction, which contains the types of programming languages, component of the ladder logic, statement list and FPG editors, how to add inputs and remove inputs, insert, overstrike instructions and AND gates, OR gate instructions, setting and resetting instruction, positive transition, program status and use of move instruction, on delay timers, retentive on delay timers, off delay timers, timers begins and call instruction and counter instruction. In this slide we will discuss about the types of the programming languages. You can see here in the command, go to the option views, you can find the three types of the languages here. This is statement list, ladder logic and function block diagram. And here you can see the three windows, and each windows are represent the programming languages. This one showing for the statement list, then the other ones you can see for the ladder logic, and the third one you can see for the function block diagram. The statement list consists of step 7 instruction. You can program fairly freely with statement list. This programming languages is preferred by programmers who are already familiar with other programming languages. The ladder logic is very similar to a circuit diagram. Symbols such as contacts and coils are used. These programming languages often appeal to those who have a drafting or electrical background. For function block diagram, use boxes for the individual functions. The characters, the box indicate the functions such as AND, OR logic operation, etc. These programming languages has the advantages that even a non-programmer can work with it. And function block diagram is available as a version 3 of the MicroWin software. When we start the ladder logic, statement list or function block diagram editors, two windows are automatically opened, the local variable tables and the program editor. Additionally, you can also open a third windows. This is instruction tree. This is the option. You can go to the view, frame, and then you have to click the instruction tree. The content of the instruction tree window depend on the programming language. Elements of the instruction tree are inserted by double clicking the selected area of the program editor. Either you can also insert by drag and drop. Now I discussed about the two windows are automatically open. This is the local variable tables and the program editor. In the local variable tables, it is belong to the block, and this table is used for declaring variables and parameter for the block. And in the program editors, the program editor code section contains the program itself divided into separate network if required. You can see the two options in MicroWin software for adding or removing the inputs. Then you have to bring your cursor on the box and add or remove as per your requirements. If you want to arrange an AND box with one input in your program, insert a box with two inputs and remove one input with the help of the button for removing inputs. Now we will discuss about insert and overstrike instruction. In step 7 MicroWin, you can toggle between two editing modes with the insert key on your keyboard. If you drop an instruction onto an existing instruction while in the insert mode, the program editor moves the existing instruction over to make room for the new instruction. Or if you drop an instruction onto an existing instruction while in the overstrike mode, the program editor delete the existing instruction and insert the new instruction in its place. Now I will give you an example that if you replace overstrike one instruction with another instruction that has the same profile, any assignment that you made to the old parameters are transferred to the new parameters. That means that when the second instruction has the same number of logic flow inputs, input addresses, parameters, logic flow outputs and output addresses parameter as the first instruction, then the parameter assignment are retained when you overstrike the first instruction with the second instruction. In my previous presentation, I already discussed in detail regarding the gates. Here I want to just give a small brief regarding the AND gates and OR gates instruction. In OR gates, when any inputs, if for example if you have two inputs, if both input is 0 0, then output will be 0. If input 1 will be 1 and input 2 will be 0, then result will be 1. It means it will be on. This is the condition in the OR gate. In the AND gate, when both input will be 0, the output will be 0. When any inputs, for example, if one input is 1 and the another input is 0, then output will be 0, because the AND gate is a function same like a multiplication and the OR gate is a function same like a additional for the addition. Then if in the AND gate, when the output will be on, when both input will be on, when input 1 will be 1 and input 2 will be 1, then output will be 1, but on other cases the result will be 0. But in the OR gate it will be on all the time except when both input will be 0 0. Now we will discuss about rising edge and falling edge. Here in the terms, the positive transition means the rising edge. The positive transition contact allow power to flow for one scan for each off to on transition. And in the negative transition means the falling edge. The negative transition contact allow power to flow for one scan for each on to off transition. How it is represented in the languages? In ladder logic, the positive and negative transition instruction are represented by contacts, and in function block diagram, the positive and negative transition instruction are represented by the P and N boxes. In a statement list, the positive transition contact is represented by the edge up instruction if a positive transition change from 0 to 1 is detected in the value on the top of the stack. The top of the stack value is set to 1. If no positive transition is detected, the value is set to 0. In a statement list, the negative transition contact is represented by the edge down instruction. If a negative transition change from 1 to 0 is detected in the value on the top of the stack, the top of the stack value is set to 1. If no negative transition is detected, the value is set to 0. Different ways of communicating the status in the program editor. There are two different modes of ladder logic and function block diagram program status data collection. Selecting the debug and then go to use execution status menu command toggles the status mode check mark on and off. The status collection mode must selected before starting program status operation. Execution status will be activated when the debug use execution status menu item has a check mark, and end of scan status will be activated when the debug use execution status menu item has no check mark. A status chart always use end of scan status data. You know, previous step 7 microwin version use end of scan status data to create the ladder logic and function block diagram program status view. If you have a first generation PLC, execution status is not supported. If you attempt to perform execution status, end of scan status begin. Now we will discuss about the move instruction. You can see on your left all the instruction for move. Here you can see if the EN input is on, the value at the input in is copied to the address specified at the output, and ENO has the same original state as EN. EN is Boolean input for boxes in ladder logic and function block diagram. The power flow must exist at this input so that the box can be executed. Statement list instruction don't have an EN input. The top of the stack values must be logically 1 so that the instruction can be executed. And this instruction is not valid for CPU 214. Now we will discuss about the timers, and here you can see all the instruction for the timer in A7200. And here you can see the box for the timer. This is for the input value, the preset times, and the timer on box with the values. The on delay timer instruction count time when the enable input is on. When the current value is greater than or equal to the preset time, the timer bit is on. The timer continue counting after the preset is reached, and it stop counting at the maximum value of 32,677. The on delay timer current value is cleared when the enable input is off. In another screen you can see the timer types, the resolutions, maximum value, and the timer number. Here I will define you the function for the retentive on delay timer, because we discussed for the on delay timer, and you can see the function of the retentive. The retentive on delay timer instruction count the time when the enabling input is on. When the current value is greater than or equal to the preset time, the timer bit is on. The current value of the retentive on delay timer is maintained when the enabling input is off. You can use the retentive on delay timer to accumulate time for multiple periods of the input on. This timer continues counting after the preset value is reached, and it stops counting at the maximum value of 32,677. With the reset instruction, you cleared the current value of the timer. Here another screen you can see the timer types, resolution, maximum values, and the timer number. In this slide you will see the off delay timer. The off delay timer instruction is used to delay turning an output off for a fixed period of time after the input turn off. When the enabling input turn on, the timer bit turn on immediately and the current value is set to 0. When the enabling output turn off, the timer continue to count until the elapsed time reach the preset time. When the preset value is reached, the timer bit turn off and the current value stop counting. If the input is off for a time shorter than the preset value, the timer bit remain on. The timer off instruction required a negative transition on to off to begin counting. You can see here the counter instruction on your left, CTU, CTD, and CTUD. The counter up instruction count up from the current value to the maximum value each time the count up input makes the transition from off to on. When the current value is greater than or equal to the preset value, the counter bit turn on. The counter is reset when the reset input turn on, and the counter stop counting when it reach the preset value. CTD, the countdown instruction, count down from the preset value of that counter each time the countdown input make the transition from off to on. When the current value is equal to 0, the counter bit turn on. The counter reset the counter bit and load the current value into the preset value. When the load input turn on, the countdown counter stop counting when it reach 0. CTUD, the count up down instruction, count up each time the count up input make the transition from off to on. The instruction counts down each time the countdown input make the transition from off to on. When the current value is greater than or equal to the preset value, the counter bit turn on, and the counter is reset when the reset input turn on, and it is not valid for CPU 214. This is end of lecture. Please help to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.